Hello friends. As you settle into your bed, let your muscles relax and your breathing soften. Tonight, we are drifting back in time to the banks of the Nile around 1500 BCE. Imagine the warm air, scented by river plants and distant woods. Let your mind wander with me down a gentle channel of history as we glide along one of the world's oldest highways in the quiet of ancient Egypt. No hurry, only calm, only ease. You're safe, you're resting. And now, let us begin our peaceful journey. As the sun peaks above the palm trees, the river's surface shimmers. A fisherman checks his nets, eyes half closed in gentle morning calm. The chant of birds drifting overhead. Nearby, a small farmstead stirs hens, clucking, goats bleating in quiet chorus. Your boat nudges the riverbank. You step off barefoot smooth, mud cooling beneath you. The smell of freshly baked flatbread wafts by. Even slower pace in the village just behind you. Women carry water jugs from the well, heads held gracefully. Their laughter is low, content. Children chase ducks near the water's edge. A potter shapes clay by hand, spinning his wheel with gentle rhythm, molding earthen pots for storage. You watch as he smooths each curve by touch. Along the bank, priests tend to small shrines, pouring incense and fresh lotus petals to river spirits. A bell rings softly in the temple courtyard. Nearby, a baker tends his hearth, lays out small loaves to cool in woven baskets. The smell of yeast and honey drifts across the breeze. As midday sun drapes the land in warm light, the river glows deep green. Farmers return with harvested barley stalks, stacking sheaves by the water. A soft wind rustles the fields. You find comfort in the gentle rhythms. Harvest, carry, stack. No rush, no hurry. As the day ripens and the heat rests heavy on the earth, the world seems to exhale. You find a patch of shade beneath a sycamore tree. It's broad, whispering. Leaves sway slowly above you. There, by the water's edge, a quiet picnic is shared. A family spreads linen cloths and baskets of fresh figs, honeyed dates, barley cakes wrapped in papyrus. You sit with them for a while, sipping cool water from a clay jar, its surface sweating in the warmth. The laughter of children is soft and slow now, their energy soothed by the sun. Bees drift lazily from blossom to blossom. A woman hums a lullaby, the tune old and familiar, passed down like seed through time. A shepherd nearby tends to his goats, their tiny bells tinkling like glass in the still air. Nothing urgent here, just being, just the drift of day into itself. By mid-afternoon, the nearby town begins to stir again. You wander slowly through its narrow, dusty lanes. Basket weavers work quietly under awnings of woven reeds, their fingers dancing with thin strips of palm and papyrus. Every gesture is smooth and practiced. In the market square, a trader arranges his textiles, linens dyed with crushed indigo, ochre, saffron. Their colors glow in the sun like resting butterflies. No one shouts. Trade happens with nods, gestures, and the quiet weight of familiarity. A cat curls up in a shaded corner, yawning. A young boy brushes the dust from stone steps with a reed broom. Someone begins to play a quiet tune on a flute carved from river cane. The melody drifts between buildings like smoke. Inside a shaded workshop near the edge of town, a potter spins a large wheel with his foot. Clay rises in his hands, taking shape a water jug, tall and slender. Nearby, jars and urns are drying. In the sunlight, each etched with careful symbols and curves. In another courtyard, scribes sit cross-legged beside piles of fresh papyrus. Their styluses dip into ink made from soot and resin. With steady hands, they write poems, temple records, lists of grain. One scribe reads aloud in a hush, his voice no louder than a breeze, his words sliding softly across the surface of time. An apprentice watches, blinking slowly in the warm light, tracing glyphs in the sand with a stick. Language being passed along like water, From one vessel to the next, evening arrives, with soft shadows stretching long across the earth. Smoke curls from hearths and cook fires. The smell of roasted lentils, garlic, and flatbread thickens the air. You sit beside a fire, where an elder speaks not loudly, not quickly, of gods and stars, of crocodiles who guard temples, and fish who swallow moons. The story isn't meant to excite, it is meant to soothe, to lull the listener into dreams, deeper than the Nile. You lie back, watching smoke drift upward, joining the pink-purple sky. A frog croaks somewhere near the riverbank. Crickets begin their quiet rhythm. The earth cools gently beneath your body. Later, you find yourself again, aboard the boat. It drifts slowly now, guided only by current. The water is smooth, and stars begin to appear first, a few, then a whole spray of diamonds above. You lie back on soft linens. A companion beside you points upward. That, they whisper, is Sopdat, the star of the goddess. You follow, their finger, watching the constellation rise above swaying palms. The air smells of cool water, river reeds, and distant flowers that only bloom at night. You close your eyes. The gentle lap of water, the slow creak of wooden oars, a lullaby older than memory. And so, our journey along the Nile slows into stillness. You are no longer a traveler, but a dreamer, carried by the rhythms of a world, long gone but never lost. The river sings to you, in voices you no longer need to understand. They are not meant to be heard, they are meant to be felt. Let your breath follow the flow of that ancient water. Let your mind sink beneath the stars. You are safe, you are resting, you are home for now, and always along the Nile. Sleep, now. Let history hold you gently. The stars wheel slowly overhead, painting a quiet dome above the Nile. As your boat drifts past stone embankments, you glimpse a temple in the distance, its pale limestone walls glowing softly under the moon. The great pylons rise like ancient sentinels, silent in their vigil. You imagine the priests who live within, tending to their sacred duties. Their movements at night are soft and measured. Oil lamps flicker gently in wall niches. A small gong is struck not to startle, only to mark time. Inside, a temple cat prowls gracefully through the columns. An offering of milk rests by a statue of Bastet. In the sanctuary, a single priest chants low and slow, words barely louder, then breath honoring the gods with rhythm and peace. The boat slows as it glides past, and you listen. Even the river holds its breath. Now the boat moves on, the current guiding it south. You lie nestled among cushions and folded cloth, wrapped in linen. The water laps gently along the hull, like the slow heartbeat of the land. Overhead, constellations shift glides slowly toward the horizon. That same sky watched by the pharaohs. You wonder what their dreams were, and whether they, too, felt this same quiet drifting between worlds. The air is cool now. You pull a light blanket over your shoulders. The boat sways faintly, like a cradle. The breeze smells of wet stone and old wood, and perhaps, if you focus, a distant fig tree in bloom. You pass beneath a low canopy of tree palms and acacias leaning toward the river, as if to whisper a secret. On the far bank, a village lies, asleep. Mud brick homes huddle close, their rooftops flat and peaceful under the stars. A lantern flickers in one window, casting a warm glow across a courtyard. A dog stretches in its sleep. Somewhere, a lullaby hums faintly from behind a shutter. You imagine the lives within merchants and scribes, bakers and bead makers, all settled into dreams. A basket of dyed wool rests by a loom, untouched since dusk. A half-finished bowl sits beside the kiln, waiting for morning. The scent of smoke is faint but sweet, wood and straw and roasted grain. You think of warmth, of family, of stories told just before sleep. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. Back on the boat, you feel your breath match the rhythm of the Nile. Inhale, exhale, the same flow the water knows. Your eyes grow heavier with each sway of the current. Above, Sirius shimmers, bright, known as Sopdot, the bringer of the flood, the mark of renewal. Your guide, half asleep beside you, murmurs stories from old scrolls, how the river would rise, gifting black earth and life to all who lived nearby. You wonder how many others have watched this same star from this same river, wrapped in the hush of night, their hearts full of small, quiet hopes. The boat carries you onward, soundlessly. The world fades into the soft gray blue before dream. And now, dear listener, your journey begins to end. Not with a stop, but with a soft return. The Nile continues on. The boat drifts toward distant shores, and your thoughts light as silk. With it, you are still here, wrapped in linen and night, safe among the stars, rocked by the same rhythm that rocked empires into being. Let go of your thoughts now. Let the gentle water carry them away. There is no need to hold them. There is nothing more to do, only to breathe, only to rest. Sleep calls to you now, quiet as a lotus unfolding. Sleep as the river sleeps. Sleep as the stars keep watch. Good night, traveler. Good night now. Far from the towns and temples, your boat passes open fields. Stretches of farmland lie blanketed in silver moonlight. Rows of barley sway faintly, barely stirred by the breeze. The irrigation channels glimmer like tiny glass. Rivers, connecting the Nile to the land, feeding it with life in every season. A water wheel creaks softly in the distance, slow, rhythmic, like a wooden lullaby. It turns not for work now, but simply because the river wishes it to. A heron lifts from the shallows, wings unfolding like a fan of parchment, then glides silently over the reeds. Everything here is purposeful. Everything moves slowly. Nothing is rushed, nothing forgotten. The sounds of the river deepen in the night. Frogs croak,